Hello friends, in this video I will be talking about the user SSH permission. Well, in the last video I created one user and that user is Peter Parker. Just as a revision, I would like to show you that how can I remove this user and some basic stuff. So in order to removing the user, you come to the system settings, and prior before that you should remember every user is a member of a particular or some group. So let's get to know what the group is all about. So press Ctrl Alt T and the terminal window will get open. Over here I have a command called get group. This command will show me all the group details. As you can see over here, I have a group called Hadoop underscore group, and apart from that there is also a group called sudo in which the group is the member of the user. Hadoop is a member of this group. Okay, so these two things we have to keep it in mind, and let me clear the screen, and now I will delete the user. So I go to the system settings. Over here it will prompt me with a dialog box called user count. Double click this. As you come down over here, you will find that there is a user called administrator, and since I have assigned the permission to the user, so this user is also an administrator. But for the time being I will unlock the user, and then it will prompt me to enter the password. So I select the user type and I'm selecting the password, which is Hadoop in my case. I authenticate the user and I can go for removing the user, and I will not keep any file associated with the user. So I click the close button, and now if you come down over here, I just have got only one user. Okay, so now if I fire the same command once again, we will not find the user in the sudo group again, and that user is no more. If you want, you can delete the group as well. I don't want to delete the group, let it be as it is. So now what I will be doing is that I will create one more user. Now before I move to creation of the user, I would like to share a couple of things. What is this? This is the user name or the current user who is logged in, or to be more specific, this is the super user, which we can see right over here. And if you see, this is the portion of the Ubuntu instance that is running in the VMware. That's the name of the Ubuntu installation. And what about this symbol? This is the tilde. Tilde means the home directory of this user. So if you want to see what is there inside the home directory, you can write ls-l. This will show you the long listing of the home directory. So if you, these are the content of the home directory of the following user Swaroop. So if you come to the files, and you will be getting the same option what you can see right over here. See, desktop, document, download. So all these are the content of the current user who is logged in. Okay, now if I go for ls-la, which will show me the hidden files. See, there are a lot of things which was not shown initially, but now we can see. Out of which the most important thing which we will consider is the .bashrc file. This is a very important file in which we will be mentioning all the path of the different applications that the user should work on, or the user will be having the privilege the moment the user logged into the operating system, the path of the application. If you scroll on over here, we have got something called .ssh, which deals with the encryption of the password, because there are many applications in Hadoop which will be requiring password time and again. So if I go for .ssh, then in that case the password will remain encrypted and we don't have to insert the password again and again. The application can access the password directly from the SSH. And remember, SSH is a directory. It's not a file like the .bashrc. The .bashrc is a file which there, so there is a hyphen over here. So .ssh is a directory. And what is there inside SSH? There will be something related to some files which will be responsible for storing about the password. Okay, so we will see what happens when we create a new user and what is there inside the home directory of the new user. Okay, so remember, this is the user name, this is the instance of the Ubuntu that is running in the VMware, and this is the tilde sign represent the home directory of the current user. So let me create a new user, and for the creation of the new user you need to have a sudo permission, and that is already there with the user. So I just copy the statement, that is how to create a new user. From here I just copy the statement and Let's come back over here. So I want to create a new user called Hadoop Swaroop, and that user will belong to the group Hadoop underscore group. I hit the enter. It will prompt me with the password. I will give the password, and then it will ask, yes, what is the new password for the new user? So I'm giving the same password Hadoop. You can choose any password of your choice. What is the full name? The full name I'm giving as suppose some full name I'm choosing. I'm going for Raj Aryan only. That's my preferred name. I would love to no phone. Nothing. I'm fine with all this information. Yes, and the user got created. So let me share the screen. And if you come down over here, you will find the username right over here. Okay, but this user, remember, is not a member of the sudo group. So you need to assign. If you want to check it once again, it's not a member of the sudo group. The sudo is still having this Swaroop, and no other member has been assigned to it. So now we will be seeing what is there inside the content of the newly created user. So we have to switch from the super user. And one more thing, let me show you that if you come to the system settings, if you come to the user account, you will find that the two users are different type. So it's an administrator, and this is just a standard because you don't have a sudo permission. Okay, so that also you have to remember. So I want to switch from the super user to the administrator, to the newly created user, and for that reason I will fire the command su switch user, and the name of the user, that is Hadoop underscore Swaroop. That's the name I have chosen. The moment I will hit the enter, it will ask the password, and the moment I give the password, just keep an eye on the command prompt. You will find that there is a change in the command prompt. The command prompt from the Swaroop, it got changed to Hadoop underscore Swaroop. So the username got changed. The VMware instance remained the same. The Ubuntu instance remained the same. But if you see over here, I was talking about the tilde sign. The tilde sign is similar with that of the home and the home directory of the user. And the most interesting thing, I'm still in the home directory of my super user. That is not what it should be. I should get into the home directory of my user which I have logged in. So for that reason, what I will do is that I will write cd tilde, and that will bring me back to the home directory of mine. So this is the home directory of mine, right? So now if I fire ls-l, I will be seeing nothing much what I was seeing in case of the super user, because super user had many things by default. So if I go for the command ls-la, then I will see a couple of things. If you see over here, I have got the hidden file, that is the bash rc, but my .ssh folder is not there. This is something which is very important. You should take care about it. So when you create a new user, you will be having a .bash rc file, but by default you won't be having. The SSH won't be there. Okay, and you have to get SSH. So how do we get SSH? That we'll see even. Okay, just wait for a while. And now if I try to open this bash rc file and I would like to perform some editing, is it possible? So let's go and check it out. So I'm trying to open it with my sudo permission. Okay, or if you don't want to open it with sudo permission, I just go for without sudo. So gedit is an application that will help me to edit the file. So gedit.bash rc. If I hit the enter, what happens? See, gedit is not getting open. You don't have the permission. Okay, so how do I get the permission? Or if I go for the sudo command, sudo gedit.bash rc, if I go for this command even, it is asking for the password. I will give the password over here. And if I hit the enter, so now it's saying that you are not the sudo members. You are not the sudo members, so you don't have the permission. So I need to get to the sudo permission, then only I will be able to open this file. And that can be done only by the super user. So that means I have to switch from this user back to super user. I wanted to show you that by default, when you create a user, you don't have the sudo permission. So what generally should be done when the super user is creating a new user, at that point of time, the super user should assign the new user with the sudo permission. Then only the user will be able to get the sudo access. Otherwise, the user won't be getting sudo access. That's what I meant. So just to evaluate that, I just show you this option. So let's the super user assign the sudo permission. For that reason, I'm copying this command, and I need to get myself back to the super user. So again, switch user, and the super user is Swaroop, and the password is Hadoop. And see over here the username got changed, but the directory is still in the with the Hadoop underscore user. That shouldn't be the thing. So I go for the cd tilde, and that will bring me to the home directory of the user Swaroop. Now if I fire the command, the following command, which will be assigning the user with the sudo permission. So I'm assigning this particular user with the sudo permission. If I do that, now it is in the sudo group. And that means if I go and gtpnt group, if I fire this command, I will now find that the Hadoop underscore Swaroop user is also the member of the, here it is, also a member of the sudo group. Okay, so now if I get back to the Hadoop underscore Swaroop, if I get back, and the password is Hadoop, and now, oh, I'm sorry, I gave some, so let me try it again. So switch user to underscore Swaroop, HADOOP. What is saying? Switch user to run the command administrator. Oh, I'm already in the, sorry, I have already changed. Okay, yeah, I'm already in the Hadoop user. That is fine. So now what I want to do is that I want to change the home directory. So I write cd tilde. I'm already in the home directory. Clear the screen. And now ls-la. I see the .basrc file. I want to open the file. So I write sudo, or if I try out with gedit, I'm just trying out gedit .basrc. I'm just trying out this one. It is unable to open, no problem. But if you go with the sudo permission, since I have the sudo permission, it will ask me to enter the password, and here is the file. Great. So the file got open. So I can perform any kind of editing over here, which I will be doing it. I will export the path over here. If you remember, when we loaded the JDK got installed inside the computers. We have the user folder. Inside of the folder we have local, no, not local, lib. Yep, inside the lib we have got JVM, and here is my open JDK. So I can copy this path from here, and this I can export it. Copy this, come back to your file. I will export it. Export java underscore home equals to the path which I copied. Yeah, it's good. So this thing I exported. In the same way, later on I will export the other path as well when we will install the Hadoop. Great. So that was the relevant of my basrc file. Now let's come to the SSL. So by default what we saw is that in the root directory we don't have any folder called SSL. The SSL folder is missing. We just have the basrc file only. So how do I get to the src folder? What is the relevant of SSL? So for that reason, what I will do is that I will just check whether the client SSH is provided or not. So every Ubuntu operating system will provide us the client SSH. This refers to the client SSH. But as we want to interact with Hadoop, it's a client server architecture, so you need to also have the server side SSH. In your case, by default, this SSH won't be provided. If I hit the enter over here, I will be able to see the server side SSH also because I have already installed it. If in your case it won't be shown, this path won't be shown. So what you will need to do is you need to install the SSH for the server side. So you will copy this command from here, and then you will simply paste and it will download the SSH. It's already been downloaded, so there is no upgrade taking place. And then you will, if you fire the which SSHD, you will be able to see the path of the server side SSD as well. So now if I go for ls-la, I'm still unable to see any SSH folder inside the user Hadoop underscore Swaroop. Nothing to worry, soon it will be available. So now what I will do is that I will generate an public key for the user. So I copied this, I pasted it over here. So SSH keygen will generate a key using the algorithm RSA, and it will generate a public key, and the key which I am going to generate, I will not provide any password from my end. The system will generate the password by itself. I hit the enter. It will be asking me that it's going to generate a public private key. And do I want to save the name? If I don't want, please see the path what is showing inside the home directory. Inside the name of the user, there is going to be one folder called .ssh, and inside that a new file by the name id_rsa will be created. It is asking me that do I want to provide any name. I'm comfortable with this name id_rsa. I don't want anything. I just hit the enter, and my password or the encrypted password got generated, which you can see right over here. After you have done this, if you fire the same command once again, ls-la, now you will see something very interesting, and that is .ssh directory. So once you create an SSH encrypted password, then only you are going to have the .ssh directory. So now let's move to the directory of .ssh and let's see what is there inside. So I write ls-la, and here I have got two files. This is my private key and this is my public key. So these two files got generated by execution of this command. Okay, now what I will do is that I will share my public key in another file called authorized key, and that will help the server and the client to interact among each other. So what I will do is that I will create a new file, authorized key, and in that file I will copy the content of the public key. Just follow the command cat will create a new file, and this is the location. Now I'm already inside my SSH folder, so I don't need this particular path. I'm removing this path from here. So I'm removing this path from here. I will just write the name of the file that I want, that this particular file, which you can see right over here, this file will be, the content of this file will be copied and will be pasted in another file called authorized key. This is the one which Hadoop will be using later on. So as I hit the enter, the content of the file gets copied, and let's check out again, and now we have got one more file called authorized key, whose content is exactly the same as the following public key. And see over here, initially there was only two files, private and public key. Now we have for the third file. So once we have fired this command, now we can access our local host with the help of SSH. So let's copy this line and let's paste over here. Why localhost? Because our Hadoop will be accessed through the browser, and for that reason localhost plays the most important role. So I hit the enter, and it is asking that do you want to continue? Yes, I want to continue, and it is saving the access of localhost through a particular password. So I write down yes, I want to continue, and I hit the enter. See, the permanently a message came over here. Let me show you that. Permanently added localhost in the list of known hosts. This is something very important. That means the localhost of the following user has been assigned into the list of known hosts. That means from now onward, when we will be installing Ubuntu, whenever it requires the access of the permission for the given user, it won't prompt me all the time. Now, so that's how I just, if I again go and check my home directory, so I can find over here I'm still having my hidden folder SSH, I have my bash RC. So now I'm all set to start with the Hadoop installation, which I will be doing in my next video. So please go thoroughly with this video, and I'm sure you will be able to do it.